Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be planting out some end of January seeds that you kind of want to get started between maybe 12 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. We are currently in the 10-week mark. This is the very first day of week 10 before our last frost date, which is April 7th. I am excited to get these started because these include some of my favorite things in the garden. So I have some veggies as well as some herbs, as well as some flowers. The plan for putting these out is to have them in my unheated sunroom with a light system, a heat mat, so that once they germinate, they are in the same conditions as the outside. I told you guys the temperature in my sunroom is about 3 degrees higher than the temperature outside, so it's relatively the same. So it would be good to see how that works out. That way I could maybe avoid hardening off. First, we're going to get started with the celery. If you guys have started celery, you know it could take quite a while. It just seems like it's never going to get larger. So this is something you definitely want to start 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. I have the Chinese pink celery. I have the Irie celery, and I have the Utah tall. So I planted the Chinese pink about 2 seasons ago. I really enjoyed this. It's very eye-catching, and that's why I'll be growing it again. It's a very light pink. Just having something different, colorful in the garden. I like to always incorporate that. And then the Utah tall, you guys saw I grew that last year, very successful. We enjoy that very much, especially with buffalo wings and things like that. The Irie celery, this is a new variety that I'll be growing this year, and it almost resembles the Utah tall. So that's why I'm growing it this year, just to see the difference, and then I will stick to just one. And then we will be planting some peas. We have the sugar snap, your basics, and I have grown peas for 2 seasons now. I think I only didn't grow it last season, but every single time I've gardened, I've grown peas. No issues at all. I grow them in paper towel. I've grown them in the taller, like 3-inch containers. I've grown them in toilet paper rolls. I don't have any issues growing them. The issues that I have with peas is keeping them safe from pests. So that would be my main concern this year. And I picked up this sugar magnolia pea. This is from Botanical Interest. And like I say, I like to do your basic colors, but I also like to put some interesting colors in there. And this one is just a really nice purple. So that is it as far as my veggies. Let's actually move to the herbs, and I have a couple here, different varieties, of course, different colors. We have the garlic chives, we have the more purple one, and we have the white one. I have a big clump of chives back in the second archway in my garden over towards the fence. I have dug out that clump of chives for the past 2 years now, and every single time it comes back like bigger and stronger, and I just cannot get rid of it because I've decided I no longer want it in the bed, and I was going to transplant it, but I have such an easy time starting and growing chives that I was just like, I'll just start more. So I'm planning to have the chives both out in the landscape and also in my green stalks, but definitely not in my garden beds. So I'm excited to start those. Then I have the chamomile. And I've had these in my green stalks. Initially, when I first grew these, funny enough, I had a lot of them growing and I could not identify what it was. And when it first comes up, it just resembles kind of like a weed. So I just plucked it out of the container that I had it in and just threw it on the ground or something. And then after some time, I realized that it was chamomile, but they don't give me any problems at all starting, and now I know how to identify them, and I want them also in the landscape. So I'll be starting this Celery Golden Chamomile variety, which has a more yellow petals as well as the bright like orangey yellow center, whereas the Bold Gold Chamomile, it has the white flowers and the yellow orange center. So I'm excited for both of those. Then I have the anise hyssop, and these are just beautiful. The pollinators love these. I see them all the time in people's gardens, and you just see a whole bunch of bees just on the plant. So I started some of these using the winter sowing method. Guys, it's not too late to do the winter sowing method if you aren't able to start indoors. Please just go ahead and pop them in a container and leave them outside. So I did put some of those seeds outdoors, and I'll be starting some indoors as well, just to guarantee that I get some seedlings. Then we have the wild bergamot, and it's just a beautiful herb. You could use this for tea. You could also use this for jellies, salads, other savory dishes. So I am excited to start this. I think I've had this seed for a while now and just haven't been able to start them. So I'm excited to start that. Then I have the bean balm that I'm going to be starting. And this one is actually not cold hardy, whereas this is perennial in zones 3 to 9, and also deer resistant. So like I say, some of the herbs you can put like bordering things if you have deers bothering your other things, so that hopefully it can deter them. So I will be putting some of those in my front yard as well. So I have to be careful with this bee balm lemon, having it outside in that grow area. I may have to put that downstairs in the basement. Then I have this Panorama Red Bee Balm, and this one is from Swallowtail Seeds. Why am I holding this up? Because there's no picture. But it is perennial to zone 3, so very hardy. And I'm excited to also have that both in my green stalk as well as in the landscape. Then I have the parsley. As you guys may know, parsley is known to be very slow to germinate and, you know, kind of get to size. So I want to make sure I'm starting this now. So I have the moss curl parsley, and I have the sweet curly parsley that I'll be starting. These will be going in my green stalk. I'll have a separate video of my whole plan for my green stalks. I have 6 green stalks now. That's crazy. Yeah, 6 green stalks. So I have a lot of planting space there, and just a whole big plan for all of that. So I'll do a whole separate video and go more in detail with you guys later in that one. I have the rosemary that I started some with the winter sowing method, and I'm going to start some more indoors. The seeds look kind of weird to me. I just picked this up from Target, but then look at the seeds. This is not seed, this is like dust. I think I'm just going to get rid of this and get another one. I think that is pretty much, oh, sorry. I have the red Florence onion, and you guys saw that I started this back when I started all my onions. The issue is I still haven't had any germination for this, and it could most likely be because these were packed back in 2021. So that could be the reason for it. So my plan is to just sprinkle all of it out and see what happens. If I get something, great. If I don't, whatever. It is what it is. I know it's because I've had the seeds for so long. The last thing that we're going to be planting today are some Lisianthus. So I have the Corelli from, why am I showing this? There's no picture. I have the Corelli from Johnny's, and I have the Voyage Deep Rose from Eden Brothers. And you want to start them, it says 8 to 12 weeks before the last frost. This one, we're gonna go more in details for it because this is my first time planting Lisianthus, and it's been said that not only does it take quite a long time to germinate, but also takes quite a long time to grow. So I am going to pretty much baby these and keep an eye on them the whole time. They do not need cold stratification, so these are just going to be growing in the basement under the grow lights. So to start off, I did go ahead and rehydrate my container of seed starting mix. I had these since last year. I pretty much emptied a lot of my seed starting mix that I planted things in that it didn't germinate. And I know you're supposed to just toss it, but I feel like I could tell what most of my seedlings are after their first true leaves come up. So I have no problem reusing my seed starting mix. So I put some boiling hot water on it, and then I let that sit with the cover on for approximately like 10 minutes or so. I also have different types of containers that I'll be using based on what I'm planting. So I have the toilet tissue roll in this recycle salad container, and I'll be using that for the peas. And then I have this larger like grape container, and I'll also be using that for the peas because they need all that room for their root growth. And then I have these trays here, and I think these are from, gosh, why can't I remember? Yeah, these are from Amazon, and I'll link them. And I found that they're pretty sturdy at a good price, so I like using them. And I especially like using them for when I'm planting a number of variety of the same type of seeds. So this is going to be good for my celery, my parsley, my chamomile, all those things. I'm able to either go like in 3 rows or 4 rows and have them all be the same thing. So I'll be using that for that. And then I have another tray, like a smaller tray, that I'll be using for my Lisianthus. I also have another recyclable tray like this. I need to go grab it. It's not here for some reason, but it's a much shorter depth that I'll go ahead and fill up with seeds. Not fill up with seeds. Fill up with soil and then sprinkle the seeds so that I am not potting, doing like individual cells for these when there's a chance that it may not even germinate. So that's the plan. I'm going to have my little helpers come in and help me pack all these seed trays. While they are packing everything, I'm just going to be making my little tags. I know sometimes you will do this and you're like, you know, I'll remember, but I never do, and I've learned that. So while they are doing that, I'm going to be making the tags for everything. So we had some tiny fingers help us out with packing these seeds, and then I'm going to have them actually do some of the bigger seeds like the peas and things. But in the meantime, I do want to get the Lisianthus planted. That way also they're not feeling like they're missing out. They actually just went to get some slurpees. So I'm going to quickly plant these up. So the first one we're going to do is the Voyage Deep Rose. And this is from Eden Brothers. And I'll also put a photo up here for you guys. These are pelleted seeds. I thought I would need 2 flats, but I think I'm going to be just needing 1. It says sow pelleted seeds into a tray on top of the soil mix and lightly press in. Maintain a soil temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm going to keep that on the heat mat, and provide adequate light. Once the seedlings emerge, place the flats in a location with good air circulation and lower the night temperature to 60 to 65. Avoid allowing the day temperature to exceed 77 degrees Fahrenheit. When the seedlings have 4 true leaves, day 57 to 60, they are ready to transplant into pots or into the garden. So that's something I'm going to note on my calendar and just keep an eye out for that. So I'm just going to probably put maybe 2 seeds together just to be sure, and I'm gonna just place them on top. Oops. I'm gonna place them on top before I actually push it into the soil. They're pretty tiny, but they're yellow. Oh, do not want to lose any of those. These are not cheap seeds. I'm going to now do the Corelli Pink. This one is from Johnny's Seeds. Supposed to have a minimum of 50. These ones are white pelleted seeds. Let's see. Get that in there. Ooh. Do not want to lose any. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. I'm going to put down 2 in each. And I really just want to use up all these seeds because of them being pelleted. Their longevity with germination, it's not going to be as good as the first year. So I'm just going to use these all up just to make sure that it's getting contact with the soil. And then I'm actually going to top this up with a very light layer of vermiculite. So the girls actually didn't do their planting until the very next day. We ended up playing Monopoly soon after I was finished my portion of the video. But they had so much fun doing this. If you guys have little ones and if you're growing peas, I think this is a great seed to start with them. I just gave them the instruction to put it as deep as their index finger, and that made it easy for them to do it on their own. They also enjoyed spraying everything after they were done planting. But I am going to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching another video and for your continued support. Do not forget to hit that like button, and please go ahead and subscribe and make sure it is set so that you are notified for all my video. So until next time, hurry up yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.